my fist at myself. This is the reason you read the guidebooks, friends. Hey, it's T-Mann Tarot, and I'm back with another tarot deck review. And friends, let me be honest here with you. I slept on this deck. I'm so sad and disappointed that I slept on this deck. It is the Lord of the Rings tarot deck by Insight Edition. This is the company that holds a lot of IP tarot decks. I have their website pulled up. They have the Agatha tarot deck that is going to be coming out later in 2025. They have a Beetlejuice. They're the creators of the Christina Ricci, A Cat Full of Spiders tarot deck. Other honorable mentions, Good Omens, The Villains, Nightmare Before Christmas. They also have Universal Monsters, Buffy. This is also the same production company. I had a tarot deck from them when I first was buying these. I probably bought them both at the same time, which is the Horror Tarot, which I gifted to Madam Adam, and he has a review over there of that deck, where that tarot deck apparently misses the mark. Also has a print issue. So, you know, right, with intellectual property, with this kind of company, they have gotten better. However, they still have a learning curve for doing this. But we are talking today about Lord of the Rings tarot deck. Now, first and foremost, I have not read the books. I know, shame on me. But growing up, my father and I, we went to go see every Lord of the Rings movie in theaters when it came out. That was one of the things my father and I did all the time growing up, is that we went to the movies together. My sister, right? We went to see one of them, I think when we were down like Christmas, and it was coming out on Christmas, I believe. My sister hates Lord of the Rings. She thinks it's too dark, and I giggle at that. Love you, Megan. Hi. But it's something that I bonded with, the adventure, the fantasy, the fairy tale, and here is where I am kicking myself. When I got this deck, it was in the early stages of me diving into tarot and understanding it, and I was naive in a way to anticipate and think like, oh, because of the Rider-Waite Smith illustrations, I will be able to look at these cards and understand them right away. Well, the Lord of the Rings tarot deck is a pip deck. There are only images on the major arcana, the aces, and then the court cards. Everything else, if it's the Six of Cups, there are 6 cups. If it's the Five of Swords, there's 5 swords. If it's the Three of Wands, it's 3 wands. If it is pentacles, which pentacles in this deck are rings, it's, 7 rings. It's Christmas time, and I just had, 12 Days of Christmas pop into my head. But ADHD, tangent. So we love it here. So I sat on it. I had it in purgatory. I was going through, and before I went and bought some new decks, I was like, let me take a peek on decks that I haven't personally reviewed myself. And so I grabbed the Lord of the Rings deck out. I thumbed through it, and I still, cute Hobbit adventure, and I was like, let me grab the guidebook. Now, the guidebook should be listed as more of a map. It is a map, front and back, and I was like, okay, let me sit and read this. And the major arcana, the Fool, starts with Frodo Baggins. let's just read the Fool card real quick, right? The Fool, Frodo Baggins. Home is behind, the world ahead. And so Frodo begins his journey. The Fool adventures into the unknown. He may not know where he is going, but hold please, and I'm back. Sorry about that, friends. Living in New York, you get buzz and you gotta answer doors. So, the Fool. As stated, home is behind and the world ahead, and so Frodo begins his journey. The Fool ventures into the unknown. He may not know where he is going, but he also knows that one cannot prepare for every circumstance. Sometimes you just have to go as the path leads you. Upright, you are being offered an exciting opportunity, the chance to broaden your horizons, and even if you aren't feeling fully confident, you are being encouraged to say yes. It's natural to be afraid, but don't let that keep you from a great adventure. Reversed, if you do reversals, you might be allowing your desire for excitement to outweigh your common sense, leading you down a reckless road. It's important to explore, but when reversed, this card suggests you are putting yourself at risk. I want to tell you that when I sat last night reading this, I continuously was shaking my fists in annoyance, not at the guide or the cards. I was shaking my fist at myself. This is the reason you read the guidebooks, friends. Because, yes, it might be a pip deck, right? But the information in here is going to be helpful. So, that being said, I am definitely going to spend some time with this and taking the cards and writing on the cards in different places the character names on the cards, and also lines from the text in the guidebook, because there are things that are correlated from the books, the movies here, that I want to have on the cards, so that way I can be able to speak and address it without necessarily having to go digging in the guidebook. I only want to keep calling it a guide map. So in the guide map, in the guidebook, Tyler Talks, take 2. Everyone just take a deep breath with me right now. It's a chaotic afternoon. So you get a little introduction. Welcome to the road. It's talking about how this is major and minor arcanas. They can challenge your assumptions, spark inspiration, and prompt you to examine your intentions through reading yourself and others. We love that. So you have all of the cards, you have all of the majors on one side, goes into the minors. No photos on the minors because it is a pip. Back has all of it, all of the rest of the cards. And then down at the very back, we have a little section for caring for your tarot deck, the readings. We have a tarot spread called the Trilogy. We have one that's called Second Breakfasts. He's never heard of Second Breakfasts. We have one called The Road, about the author and about the illustrations, and then manufacturing stuff. But that's all of the nitty gritty fun stuff. It comes in its own self-contained box. We love it. Has a little ribbon and the one ring to rule them all, dead in the center. Full card. Here are the backs. It lends itself to upright and inversions. The card stock is a beautiful way. It is You get that lovely little whimsy thing, that little wop wop. Hand over the hand. It is regular. It's giving like just a little bit bigger than playing size cards. Here's what you're really looking for. Beautiful riffle shuffle. There is a smooth, matte kind of finish to the cards. Not that. Oh. Beautiful shuffle. Friends, this has been my first takes. I love all of this. It does leave room on the pip cards more than the image cards to be able to write on. I can't wait to sit and doctor these up. Maybe I'll do a live where I sit and I work on these cards. But friends, a closer inspection of the Lord of the Rings tarot deck is coming up next.